jail, that you can put them in the power. If you don't survive the pandemic, it's gonna sit you down. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. Shout out to Willie Wilson, hope one day you get to send it. We need some different players in the game to handle business. Too many shady characters like Madigan and Blago. But when you really break it down, it's typical Chicago. City full of gangsters, it's what the land was built on. Same streets with hood legends, DNA get spilled on. Carjackers out here lurking, trying to get they steal on. Looking for a block to put them Hellcat wheels on. Let us give bogus appraisals a red line. Car crackers out here getting minimal fair time. And up to seal carry, I stay with the pipe. But Illinois gun laws giving minimal rights. Stay up on the swivel, make sure I'm moving tight. Check all of my mirrors when I pull up to the light. Pick my homie up from out of town, man, he caught a flight. He was hella nervous, told him, shorty, this a way of life. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks.
Wake up, wake up, wake up. This is the takeover of What's in It for the Black People. I'm your guest host sitting in for the great Maze Jackson, TYRONE MUHAMMAD, Executive Director for ECCSC. I got my comrades here. We got Snoop on the side and Greg on the side, and we'll get into what it is that we do for our community and for the people. We got the Riis, great Riis on the ones and two. What's up, Riis?
Hey, you know I'm blessed by the best. You already know the rest.
All right, man. You got to navigate this ship, man. We gonna rock it and hold it down for our man. Listen, man. Hey, Riis, what he talking about, man? What he saying? I wasn't gonna make it. What is he talking about? I'm hearing this.
Yeah, he said, you know, Tyrone ain't gonna get up to 6:30, but you hear, man?
Man, what? I don't sleep. Listen, man, it's enough time to sleep in the coffin when that time comes. I don't have no time to sleep. So with that being said, man, listen, Riis, I want to just say, bro, you've been on it, man, and I've known you for a little while now, and I commend you for what you do, man, for the What's in It for the Black People overall, not just the show, but just in general, man, because, you know, I love to hear the young folks' perspective. Sometimes, man, you know, they may think that's a little corny, man. You know, we're going to bring a little life to here, and I'm all business. Y'all see me? We all business up in here. So, to believe me, we didn't, basically, we'll let them out the trunk after a while, Riis. We'll let them out, but today we're going to hold it down for them. With that being said, thank you all for tuning in. Share, tell somebody to love somebody, and to share this day with somebody. Go viral with this here. Let's go. It's time to make the What's in It for the Black People media, man, what it need to be. And Maze Jackson, thank you for the opportunity, bro, to you know, be trusted enough to hold down such a, you know, prestigious show. This is the only show that I can say that's for black people, bro.
Facts.
This is the only show that has that we tune into, and I'm really appalled sometimes that, you know, it doesn't receive more viewership, right? And that's our fault, right? I think that's our fault. I think we don't do enough to highlight and promote black businesses, black everything, right? So with that being said, I would just want to say this last little commentary and then get into the topics of the day. I just want to say, you know, what you all looking at is ECCSC core frontline members, right? We have over 2,000 years of prison time associated with our organization. And for those that don't know who we are and what we do, let me just say this. I served 21 years in prison. And in serving 21 years in prison, I grew tired of watching young men come in and out of prison, Riis, with no reduction in recidivism rate, right? And most of these young men coming in prison, they had 20, 40, 60, 80, 100 years, bro. And observing that for so long, nearly 2 decades, I said, you know, it's clear that elected officials, pastors, politicians, and America, the society that is America, do not have an answer for prison reform, for reentry, for violence prevention, for all of these things that, and really a true economic opportunity, right? America didn't have that because every young man I saw, Greg and Snoop, most of them was in prison for economic crimes. It's not, even if they drilling, killing, and sliding, bro, a lot of that is a result of their environment and the poor living conditions that they're under.
The lack thereof.
The lack. And we decided as a group of men, those that was with me, we said, you know what? We have to do this ourselves. Hence, there's not often where you see men coming from prison and standing front line and taking charge of the issues of them that they produce or help produce in the communities. That's what we decided. We said, Riis, we was the ones who perpetrated the violence and the madness in our communities. We was a part of the problem. We said, you know, it's time for us to be a part of the solution. Because for years, I watched my whole life, black men perpetrate acts of violence and terroristic effect on our women and children and the communities. It's not that we we holy or we righteous in that sense of shall I say, monotheistic religious connotation or narrative, but we righteous in that we say, you know what, we have to do a righteous endeavor to repair the damage that was caused by the war on drugs, the 80s Reagan war on drugs, and the 94 Clinton crime bill that ushered mass incarceration in those prisons and those spaces, and mostly under the Democratic Party, bro. If we just want to be truthful, we've had more incarceration and mass incarceration under the Democratic Party than we've had under any administration, bro.
That's facts.
And here we are. It will be 5 years in June that I've been home. 5 years, man. You know, there's somebody who was told, Greg and Snoop, and we got the great Mook behind us, Vicente. I was told, Riis, I wouldn't make it to be 16, bro. When we look at what's going on out in these communities, the BD, GD, all those gang wars, Riis, that happened, we was a part of that. We was a part of the creation of the madness that is drilling, killing, and sliding. But you know the difference about us? We served our time, we served our debt to society, and we decided that it is absolutely unacceptable for our sons that we have left as a result of mass incarceration out here to defend for themselves. We said that it's going to take us to save us, and it's going to take us to save them. That's why you see us on the front line so hard, people. We want like-minded men.
Where y'all at?
Formerly incarcerated persons. Guys that haven't yet been to prison but on your way, that's standing on these corners. To also say it's unacceptable for women and children to die prematurely because of a stray bullet. And I'm going to reiterate to our listening and watching public as we judge our young sons, our daughters, and everybody that's caught up in criminal activity. Black men didn't create crime nor punishment in this country.
Talk to him.
We don't produce extended clips, 100-round drums. We don't produce weed in Inglewood, Lawndale, Woodlawn, Roseland. We don't produce heroin in Inglewood, Roseland, Woodlawn, Howard Street, Austin, Uptown. We don't produce cocaine in Inglewood, Woodlawn, Lawndale, Austin. We don't produce these things.
Drums.
100-round drums. We don't produce bullets.
Switches.
Now it's telling me that some switches. Who taught them how to put switches on gun and where do they come from? YouTube. So it sounds like we need to be suing some people.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Sound like as a community of black people, we need to be suing some people for the ills, even grand theft autos. You taught our children how to steal and you get points, Riis. You get points for knocking a woman upside the head, taking her car, the most egregious crimes on the game. And our black women and other women give these games to their sons, bro.
Yeah.
With no real guidance on what's real and what's fake, right?
Yeah.
So these children come into society at 9 years old, 12 years old, and you wonder why they carjacking at 12. Already exercising maneuvers of carjacking in their own mind. And we want to talk more about that because that ties in with the violence that we under. I'm looking at this and this dashboard. The violence. I'm gonna just go there first. Riis. You know how Mays always say, I'm imagining that what do you think about what is the I don't know. I'm appalled that give me some of the other lines he used, Riis.
What was the one he got famous for? The unmitigating gall.
The unmitigating gall.
gall.
What's the other one, man? It's a few more, leading into the question that he asking the public to participate in a Q&A. Yeah. Year to date, shot and killed. Year to date, it ain't even hot yet. 106 people shot and killed, right? Now, I mean, a year to date. Shot and wounded. That's shot and wounded. 431. Shot and wounded, bro. Total shot.
I was just finna say that.
Total shot. 537. 537 year to date. Total homicides year to date. 115.
Damn. Black and brown babies. Most of them under the age of 16.
Hey, 115. Total shot. Now, I can't say if it's one or two white people in that sprinkle. But I'm telling you, I guarantee you that's a majority of black people. That's why we exist. We exist because, not because we police, we respond and recover value from our communities. That's what ECCSC represents, a response and recover organization, a grassroots, frontline soldiers who really understand and really know the culture, the science, and the style of violence that's going on in our communities, Riis. And what you say, Greg, about what we're looking at in this violence?
It's unacceptable is what I said. First of all, what up, y'all? Motivated Monday. I'm motivated. 115 is unacceptable. I mean, 5 should be unacceptable. 1 should be unacceptable. But think about it. The summer, what 50 Cent say, it's hot out in this, and that's a good enough reason, right? It ain't even got hot yet. On the first hot day, we had, 15 people shot last week?
Yeah.
They have no answers. It's a state of emergency. It's been a state of emergency, if you ask me, if we continuously losing thousands and thousands of black men and women each year. I mean, go back and look at the numbers. Started in 1980. Go there. That's the year the Fraternal Order of Police started. Go to 1980 and look at the death rate, the death total of black and brown people, specifically black people, since then. It's genocide happening right here in America, and ain't nobody caring about it. Because if you got 30,000 people in 10 years dead, is that not genocide? Them real war numbers. So I'm pissed off that this city has no answer, and the babies are dying younger and younger. That's how I feel about it. I feel like the mission is necessary. It's obvious it's going to take us to save us. Because if we don't, who will?
Can I say something?
You got the mic?
All right. The sad part about all this is, after hearing the numbers, man, you be boots on the ground with these guys, and you actually hear the excuses behind a lot of these murders and these shootings that's going on, and it's sad. You know, we have intelligent conversations with a lot of men throughout the city of Chicago, and on the street level, they definitely support the movement. But when it comes to tackling issues like this from a systemic point of view and actually getting at the root causes of it, we need those men. You know, and when these youth see there's a lack of men out there on the streets, that just adds the fuel to the fire for them to continue to do some of the things that they doing, knowing damn well that nobody's really out there attempting to even trying to talk to them, educate them, or stop them. So just that alone is sad. So it's going to take us to save us, no doubt.
You know, we the subject matter experts, right?
Talk to him.
We the subject matter experts who receive the least resources. That tells me one thing, right? What is it? A $1.6 billion police department.
Yeah.
Resources, tax dollars.
That ain't right.
$2 billion. No, I'm gonna say $1.6 billion IDOC budget. I'm gonna say a $2 billion police budget, because when you count and add in overtime and all of that other stuff that they, new equipment on the fly, and like I say, posting up downtown, overtime. $2 billion. They lying about numbers.
Billion.
$800 million DOC budget. I mean, Cook County jail budget. $800 million. All of this, people, is to respond.
Yeah.
This is all money spent on response. We spend billions on response, but yet we don't even spend billions on prevention.
Talk to him.
You telling us what's important. You showing us through the dollars. Forget what your elected officials say out their mouth. People, wake up.
Black Death.
Wake up. Wake up for real.
Wake up.
Wake up for real. Forget what they say out their mouth. Black Death is a hustle.
Been a hustle.
It's always been a hustle. Black bodies are a hustle. You remove black bodies from the hustle, Riis. Let's go down the line. Policing is about black bodies.
Hunting season.
Prisons are about black bodies. Judges Colleges, these college students go from all these prestigious institutions, become lawyers to either defend or prosecute your body.
Talk to him, Ty.
You remove lawyers in the amount of money spent on lawyerism. That's your answer. Then all of these towns and communities is built by in prisons and all these little towns and farm towns is about making wealth and resources to feed them off your body. And with that being said, we taking a break. Come on, call in. Come on back and be a part of the change you want to see. This is What's in It for the Black People Show. I'm your host, Tyrone Muhammad, sitting in for the great Maze Jackson. I almost gave y'all my prison name. Sitting there for the great Maze Jackson, bro. So come on back, people. We love you and we appreciate you.
Share the live, people. Share the
Shut it
live.
live. Shut it live.
The Maze Jackson Show will be back after this break. Maze Jackson.
What's up, Chicago? This is your man, Maze Jackson, host of the Maze Jackson Show. You hear me every single day ask the question, what's in it for the black people? Well, finally, y'all, we've got an answer, and it's called the Black People First Party. Meet us every Saturday from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. at TP, located at 5401 South Wentworth, Unit 17E. That's in the mall at the 55th and the Dan Ryan. And you join us every Saturday where we are taking our politics black. We'll teach you everything you need to know about the game, from how to collect a petition, to how to knock on a door, to even how to become the next mayor of the city of Chicago. That's right, y'all. It is the Black People First Party. Meet us every Saturday, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. at TP, located at 5401 South Wentworth in the mall at 55th and the Dan Ryan. And if you don't like it, you can still tell them, Maze said. This is a black people thing you wouldn't even understand.
Maze Jackson. And now, traffic and weather.
Yo, who said devotion had to be sad? Yo, check this out. The Lord is my shepherd, shall not want. He's making me to lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside the still waters. He restored my soul. God's gonna turn it around. Come all the way with me.
Good morning. What's in it for the Black People Media family? The time is now 6:36 today on the Maze Jackson Show, but it's been took over by TYRONE MUHAMMAD and the ECCSC Takeover. Here with your traffic and sports update. We're going to head over to the Kennedy. On the Kennedy, O'Hare to the Loop will be 21 minutes. Outbound to O'Hare will be 17 on the Edens. 28 minutes from both directions, Deerfield to the Exchange and back, while the Eisenhower Thorndale to the Loop will be 31 minutes. Back out to Thorndale will be 28. On the Stevenson from I-355 to the Dan Ryan will be 35 minutes. Outbound will be 29. The Bishop Ford I-80 to the Dan Ryan, 34 minutes, 27 minutes to I-80. While the Dan Ryan is 16 minutes to the Loop, 12 minutes to 95th. On DuSable Lakeshore Drive South will be 7 minutes and 8 minutes north. Today's weather, today is currently 48 and partly cloudy. Today will be a high of 72 with a low of 46. I'm Riis the Ruler. Now back to TYRONE MUHAMMAD here on the Maze Jackson Show.
Welcome back to the Maze Jackson Show. This is a great opportunity to be a part of the change you, we, us, them want to see. And we all represent that change. And I want to thank you all once again for the support you have given us, ECCSC, over the years. And just to be in that number, right? It's like we're building a movement and a recognition that it has to come from black men. We represent the building of the community, the family, but in order to build that community, we must build black men back up as well. And I would like to thank you all and welcome WBGX WBGX.
What up, what up, what up? Thanks for tuning in.
Thanks for
Yo.
tuning in and sharing the live with us. Come on, share the live all over the country. Share the live all over Chicago.
Make this
Let's
go
go.
viral.
Let's deal with the issues. Let's talk facts. Let's talk about the things that we're dealing with. We deal with gang, drugs, and violence, and we have dealt with that for a long time. And I really can't wait when we open those phone lines up, Riis. Do we have any callers? I can't wait to open the phone line up and see what the people think about violence.
That's 872-259-7474. Come on in. Check us out. If you got something to say, a comment, or a question, that's 872-259-7474.
And once again, thanks for tuning in. You can listen to us on WBGX. That's 1570 AM. That's WBGX for the listeners. That's 1570 AM. Thank you for tuning in. This is the Mays Jackson Show. Greg, you all been working out in Snoop. Y'all been working out on Rogers Park, Uptown, Howard Street for a long time. And we standing, you sitting here, and we had a 2-year peace agreement.
Yes.
Yep.
2-year peace agreement. Talk about that, bro. How do you get at a 2-year peace agreement with oppas, quote unquote, because there's no op Chicago.
No op
That's
Chicago.
our motto. That's
No
what we're
ops.
pushing. And we're going to transform that. Hashtag no op Chicago. How do you even get at that? And you can't even quantify what that represent when we start talking about innocent women and children not being shot.
First, I just want to say, man, shout out to everybody in Rogers Park and Uptown.
Talk to him.
I think that's one of the reasons why I work the way I do. You know, those guys motivate me. You know, at one time, you know, they were one of those groups or individuals, man, that was denying everything. You know, they wasn't acceptive to no violence prevention program, but they was watching us. They watched us slowly over a course of time. They seen us make that transition, and they knew we was about. So collectively, amongst them, they had decided that this is what they wanted to do. They wanted longevity. You know, they wanted resources. They wanted education. They wanted a lot of these things that's not televised or you all think that they don't even talk about was put on the table. So right now, kudos to those guys in Uptown, man, for making that happen. And trust and believe, man, we're going to do everything in our powers to make sure you all get rewarded for those great deeds in the city when there's a lot of naysayers that say you guys can't do it. So
I like to add that to answer your question, how you do it. First of all, you got to have license to operate. You got to have integrity in the hood for them to even see you as an example, right? And so just for contents, I mean, we is in the West End for Black People show. We is in Chicago, right? So let's talk to them. Highly influential members of old, right? Vice Lord, GD, Stone, Black Stone, represent all the major factions in Chicago standing together as a representation of No Op Chicago. And as you speak about specifically Uptown, where we do have a 2-year peace agreement, if you're familiar with the North Side or the city of Chicago, you know that historically Stones and Vice Lords has always killed each other. Shout out to you brothers on Wilson for giving the whole entire city an example of we can live together and we can win together. It's about living, people. Your baby should not die. Your mother should not bury you. And so to answer your question, big bro, it's just that they saw us. They saw us make the transition and stand together in solidarity, No Op Chicago. And that's why it was easy for us to come join and collaborate with you, because it ain't about what you used to be, it's about what you is right now, and that's a black man. First, we are black men first, we are kings first, and so that's how I answer your question, man.
And it's appalling to me, right? And you know what I've been learning to do, and I used to highlight and like push on, because you young in this work, and when you show up on the scene, you shake up things, because everybody's been doing the same proverbial thing and they get no result. I watch all these violence prevention groups, bro, from prison for 20-something years, bro, fail at really tackling those issues.
Yep.
That it's like there's no violence prevention group. If they called us, we wouldn't show up, bro.
Yeah.
Because ultimately it's about collaborating, right? It's about building a real potential force, network
coalition.
to get at the issues, the ills that's facing our community. Mm-hmm. And right now, when you put these groups up against one another and they fight for measly resources and crumbs from 501c3s and grant money, they put grant money and opportunity
Dangling that thing
in front of violence, right?
Yes, sir.
Where we don't have equal resources or political clout to get resources to build capacity to do the great work, because it's become politicized. Violence has become a political issue, and it's politicized. Even the funding of dollars go to a particular or a certain group that has political cachet, right?
100%.
Or they've been around forever,
Yes.
for decades,
Yes.
and they continue to reap the same reward or benefit of those dollars, although their numbers hasn't reduced in terms of areas. In fact, some of these groups where they've been given this millions, violence has actually increased 300% or 180% or 800%.
If y'all sleep on the violence prevention dashboard, check it out. The city roll it out every day. It's updated, and y'all could check it out and pull it up and put it in your neighborhood, right? It's so specific that I don't even know why they come on TV and lie to y'all. Because it's so specific, you can put your neighborhood in there. You can put the violence prevention group that's supposed to be in your neighborhood in there. And then you can see, to Ty's point, that it's up 180%. And then Google the organizations and see how much funding they already received.
Right.
So when you look at the $2 billion the police got, that's the $100 million that's went into violence prevention. I'm gonna say everybody sleep at the wheel.
Especially when it comes to the funding too. If you look at it, when they open up those grants, they allow anybody to apply for it. Basically, if they're a 501c3, got it certified. So your average mom or pop, man, could actually certify and get that money. It's too many people, man, with their hands in the pot, man. Too many people.
Devin say, who determines the metrics for the success of any time violence program? Who determine the metrics? False metrics determine the metrics. You can make the numbers say anything, Devin. They make it say anything to rationalize or justify them receiving the money. All we have to do is look at the numbers. I said year to date, 115 murders.
Yeah, man.
It's not even May.
Nah. We 3 months in, 4 months now.
115. What metrics are we looking for? Because let me just say this. I'm on the mindset that, and to give them the benefit of the doubt, they don't know. Right?
All right.
Okay, let's give them a benefit of that. Let's not even talk about the diabolical plot to destroy black men and boys. Let's not even go there, right?
Okay. Okay.
Let's not go Cortez, bro, FBI. Let's not even go there, bro. Okay. Let's not even talk about how this like Gestapo movements of policing in our neighborhoods, right? Where there's no representation of us in the neighborhoods, right? In terms of look like us on the police force. It's not enough for our children to see, because you can only be what you can see.
Facts.
You can only be what you can see. And if you're wondering why so many young men want to be drillers and killers, and sliders instead of Tyrone, Muhammad, Greg, and Snoop, and Mook, because they can't see us throughout the whole city.
Right.
They can't see us because you got 12 to 13,000, I think, Riis, officers in this city. Just look at the employment level right there. That's 13,000. If you say 12,000, CPD.
Yep.
They have 3,500 police cars, Riis. That means they're visible, but we still don't see them, right?
Yep.
You have 3,500 vehicles, and you still don't see them.
Yep.
Now we talk about violence prevention groups that style and got their own style form like we've done, where we have real police interceptors, we have real patrol vehicles of sort, although we don't call them that. We call them our recovery and response vehicles.
Right.
Because policing in our community, Riis, has a bad connotation.
No trust factor.
No trust factor. And when I'm talking about that, Riis, open the lines up so we can hear from our people, brother. I would really love to hear from them on this topic. And I want them to call in and give us a hand on helping us to understand what it's going to take for us to come together and what it's going to take for us to hold our elected officials accountable for the resources necessary to get at this violence. And it's not enough. Trust me, it's not enough. We have more than enough money to lock our sons and daughters in prison when they violate, but very few dollars when it comes to preventing and really doing real systemic and behavior modification on these ones that will commit bad acts and programming.
Yeah.
That's what we want to talk about, our programming and how that look. So with that, you said you wanted to add.
I just wanted to add to the context about the officers, right? That it's a couple of things I like to see pushed in our communities. One is I believe that they should split the officers up, right? You shouldn't have 2 white officers from Naperville patrolling Inglewood, right? That's one. It should be a black officer because there's already a shortage of black officers. I think a black officer should ride with all other Hispanics or whites and to balance it out. Secondly, I think that it should be mandatory that the police get out their vehicles. It's unacceptable that you patrol my neighborhood for 15 years, but you don't know nobody in my community, right? There's no police engagement. I think that if they get out the car...
I wouldn't say no, because
Right.
I put those good officers out there that's been doing... There are good black officers that
100%.
I've seen on the beat that
Thank you
really
for that.
trying to connect, but they in a system
Systematic.
that's not. We ought to always be careful when we say no or never or can't. Yeah,
thanks for that. It's not enough. My point is, I feel like if you work in your community, you should know your community, right? And it's a lesser chance of you shooting my son if you know he got special needs and he having an episode. You should know that if he walk down this same street every day and you work this same street, was my point. It just should be more engagement from our brothers and sisters of the blue. That's all.
Go ahead. You got something to say?
And they need to abolish the code of conduct within inside the police department, which allows rogue cops to continue to do what they do and not allow the good cops, man, to speak up on behalf of the community or themselves. They tend to get eradicated out of that system when that happens. And to piggyback off of Greg is the engagement piece. As much police that we have out there that's good, man, we actually don't see the engagement part with them actually walking up and down the streets, knowing the community by first and last name. That's definitely important.
And then lastly, yesterday y'all saw in the news, as Ty said, 3,500 cops, right? And I ain't bashing them. I support them. We recognize that defund the police was a political genre. We say reallocate some of those $2 billion. But the little village alderman was on the news with the whole Latino community yesterday begging for police. They begging the governor to file a state of emergency because of so much violence. They say they never see police. And so I'm saying if everybody hollering, they never see them, what's happening in our city, Ty? I'm like, why is all the aldermen calling for more police and it's 3,500, 13,000 officers running through the streets?
Well,
13,
actually, ain't they
13.
calling ECCSC for answers?
Not absolutely not. I mean, there are certain. I just say this: when we start talking about outside of Chicago, ECCSC is moving. ECCSC is moving, and they have recognized the work that we're doing. You can't get around it. I'm gonna just say this, and we're gonna talk about this in the upcoming hour. 1.5 million ex-offenders in the state of Illinois.
Wow.
I'm gonna say it again. 1.5 million in the state of Illinois.
Yeah.
That means we have a very. He moving his mic back and forth. We got very. He got the tick. We have a very big voting block. It's huge. We have the power to organize in a way, and we on our way. Keep playing, keep looking, keep denying our existence, keep denying that we real, we didn't make ourselves ex-cons, bro.
Yeah.
We didn't make ourselves ex-cons, bro. Nobody volunteered to go to prison that I know
of the war on drugs.
We survivors of the war on drugs.
That's facts.
We're
are survivors of the war on drugs. A lot of people.
They do not want to fix the problem, Riis. Why would you fix something that has enriched your country?
Talk to them.
Why would I want to repair something? Black ignorance and black death is a hustle. Why would I fix that? Please explain to me, why would I want to fix something that enrich my people in my community? I don't care what they tell you.
That's their hustle.
You can take all of the resources that's done just in violence and crime. For instance, the black market of cannabis, and we got to get back to that, it's probably a $7 billion industry. That's why white men recognize that we have to make weed legal. That means a $7 billion underground black market of cannabis. We have to make it legal, bro.
Yep.
So in making it legal, they have taken $2 billion worth of revenue off the streets. Those white men that are the main owners and distributors of cannabis in these dispensaries remove $2 billion off the streets. If it's a $2 billion was a part of the black market, Greg, and listening audience, Snoop, then those men that lost $2 billion on the street look like us.
Yep.
What facts?
Men who lost $2 billion on the streets, the black market, mostly look like us. Guess what that increases? If you take $2 billion Riis out of any corporation, that corporation would be in the red.
They definitely in the red.
Our community streets are in the red, and we have no participation in cannabis. I'm going to say this again. You want to talk about violence? And then they hypocritically play games with violence prevention dollars and funding,
R3.
called R3.
Yeah.
They take the money off the streets. We kill each other for the crumbs and the peanuts that we chasing because we no longer are reaping the benefit of those products. Now these young men are killing one another. Do we have any caller, Riis, online? Good. We're going to keep it going then. It's not good, but it should be. You should be calling in, especially about these issues. If we're talking about violence, definitely looking for Tyrone here in San Antonio, Texas. We'll be there. We'll be there. We on our way to Texas. I'm telling you, we coming to Texas. San Antonio is the place. We there.
What up, Edward?
Yeah.
And could you imagine if we was at the table doing that whole process when they legalized cannabis, as far as finance is concerned in the city of Chicago, if we're doing the math as far as how much they made?
But we most definitely getting back to that and I think one of our topics of the day is cannabis, and should we as ex-offenders own the first consumption lounges? Since you didn't give us an opportunity, locked us out of the process of dispensaries and grow and infusion and processing and transportation, maybe we should be the ones to get the first opportunity at the consumption lounges that these cannabis to have the license. Then that will force cannabis companies to partner with so-called social equity partners. I tell y'all, social equity, DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion mean everyone but black. I'm going to say that. When you see DEI in front of something, if someone told you they represent DEI, the diversity, equity, and inclusion, they're telling you openly that they represent everything and everyone but you.
Yep.
That means everyone can get in, you not welcome.
Yeah. Talk to them. Tell them the stats about this.
So we talking this violence. It is sad and appalling, sisters, when we see, and I just want y'all to understand, because I don't know how we deal with that trauma, brothers. We got to be made for this, man.
This is the guy.
When you see a young man shot in his body 14, 15 times, man, we arrive on the scenes sometime, man, and before the police. We arrived on the scenes with people shot up in their bodies, man. These women can't even identify their babies, man. They can't go to the morgue. They got to call people like us to go pick their son's body or go to funeral homes to identify their son's bodies, man. And we see bullet holes in young men's heads and face and bodies, man, the babies and women. We hugging women and mothers and fathers whose sons and stuff have been killed. And I imagine we would do much more of that this summer, bro. I imagine we would do much more of that this summer, because it's just unfortunate that all the work that we do and put in, man, it's almost like when you think of EMTs, when you think of ambulance, when you think of police, when you think of firemen, bro, their job not even as hard as ours. They got a badge to give them a certain protections. They have insurance and they have resources. Some of them make $90,000 to $100,000 a year, bro.
Yep.
They go to other neighborhoods, man. A lot of us live in the neighborhoods that we work in.
That's fact.
A lot of us are from the neighborhoods that we interact with.
Facts.
We deal with your little homie. We go to these schools. We deal with your sons at the school. We deal with your sons on the block. We deal with your sons at the center. Then we deal with your sons at the graveyard.
Or the jail.
Or the jail, man. I don't know. It's a heavy thing for us, bro. I don't understand how we even mentally are able to handle it. So we got a caller, Riis. I would love to hear from that caller. Come on through, caller. You on the Maze Jackson show.
They have insurance. They have resources.
Yeah, go ahead, brother.
Go ahead, speak. We can hear you.
Yeah, I just want to touch on the topic about crime prevention. The reason why these it goes all the way up.
What's your name, caller, if you don't mind?
Antonio McClinton.
Okay, Antonio. Okay, Antonio.
I did a podcast about this a couple months back. It's all about the money, man. You know what I'm saying? The more money they take out these neighborhoods, the more crime it is, and they look at us like stop, because we ain't nothing but numbers. You know what I'm saying? So that's why they get all these resources out the neighborhoods. If you look at the neighborhoods surrounding, some of these neighborhoods don't even have people begging on the streets because they have housing and all type of grants for that, and they actually using these grants for those reasons to keep their people in their neighborhood off the streets. When you come back to Chicago and they get the same grants, probably bigger grants, more money, they do other things like investing in the police instead of on the streets to keep these kids and people from being homeless off the streets, because crime is the biggest stock there is. You know what I'm saying? It's the biggest stock these billionaires can invest in. In Chicago, you got to look at it like they're herding cattle. You know what I'm saying? Because we're nothing but numbers. Think about the numbers that come in when they go into jail. When they first hit Cook County Jail, you know what those numbers are? So they come in of a massive rate. Who's going to stop that? Who's going to stop that? making all these dollars off of that. It's $1 billion business for hurting us, black and brown people. Going to county, looking at county jails. Excuse me?
I just was agreeing with you, Antonio, saying black death is a hustle. Keep going, brother.
It's a hustle. It's a hustle. It's $1 billion hustle. $1 billion hustle. That's why they pull these resources out. And it's beyond the mayor. It's beyond the aldermen. It's way up top. For those cities that keep having high crime rates, they're going to keep having crime rates. They're going to keep putting these. Do you actually really think we could find these guns? Then they pull up their semi-trucks, pull up their trailers, and let people know, and let one person know, okay, it's guns over there in that truck over there. And pretty soon the whole neighborhood know, or they're hitting the trains because it's semi-automatic weapons and everything. Who do you think gets the word out that those guns are in the neighborhood? They do this on purpose.
No doubt.
And I witnessed it, like in Maywood. And train stopping in the neighborhood, and they let somebody know there's guns over there, or a state trooper that's out there giving out guns for crack cocaine or something like that. Then armed the whole neighborhood, man. Hundreds and hundreds of guns.
So listen, bro, I appreciate you and your perspective, bro. Just, you're welcome. We welcome everybody that's tuned in to be a part of ECCSC. And we building a real coalition of we got a great project coming up that deals with organizing and putting together men, thousands of men, to be about the change we want to see on these blocks in these communities, and also holding these black businessmen accountable and helping us to replace those young men guns with jobs. Thank you, caller. Riis, do we have another caller online?
Appreciate you, Antonio.
Thank you.
Caller.
Hello?
Come in,
Hello?
caller. Yes.
Hi, this is Uncle Rosie. I know little about your organization, but I am extremely impressed with the direction that you guys are heading and you're leading in the community. I just like to know, how can average old men like me help you guys? I think you're spot on when it comes down to the issues of the finance and the organization. I don't know whether or not you guys can vote, but maybe you can provide protection of transportation for those people, indigent, older, gray foxes like myself. But all I can say is hooray, hooray, and keep up the good work. I'm very proud of what you guys are doing. On the surface, if it's in your heart, what you're saying, God be with you.
Thank you.
Continue the good work. Thank you.
Thank you. Well,
bye-bye.
For those who don't want to know more about ECCSC, you can go to ECCSC.org. That's ECCSC.org, and we absolutely look forward, and you will see more of us in the areas helping our elders, and we already escort women home safely when they call us. We creating a 1-800 line for any woman, any elder who would like to be escorted, who would like to opportunity to be protected by us. And I'm telling you, just check us out. Go to ECCSC.org. And you can find me on Tyrone Muhammad Facebook page and ECCSC, Ex-Con for Community and Social Change page as well. So we look forward to the next callers that's coming up, throughout the show, because this is a hot topic, a serious topic. But first, we're going to go on break. We'll be back. So get ready. Call in. Thank you.
Last caller. Thank you, brother.
Jackson Show. We'll be back after this break. If you're a business professional, have you ever wanted to multitask on your way to an important meeting instead of navigating through traffic? Fellowship Fleet Limousine and Bus Company is your solution for chauffeured ground transportation. Our company provides sedans, SUVs, stretch lanes, vans. If you're a travel manager, individual business professional, event or meeting planner, relax. Let us take the wheel. Visit fellowshipfleet.com to book right now.
Well, sometimes I go out by myself and I look across the water, and I think of all the things what you're doing, and in my head I paint a picture. Well, since I've come home, well, my body's been a mess, and I miss your ginger hair and the way you like to dress. But won't you come on over? Stop making a fool out of me. Why don't you come on over?